Hi, Edward Beck here with Quick Sell. I get this question asked all the time. Is my house too ugly to sell with the real estate agent? And the answer is maybe. There's sometimes it may be, if the roof is caving in, if, it's got 50 cats inside of it, if it's not worth the value that it would be worth if you fixed it. Okay, let me give you the math. So if you fix a house with repairs, you will get the optimal amount of value out of this house, right? So let me give you a scenario. Say the house is worth $80,000, but it needs $80,000 after repairs, but it needs $50,000 in repairs. That property is probably only worth 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand on the open market with the realtor. And then you still got to pay realtor fees, closing costs, and go through that whole, tap dance with the realtor of back and forth on the contracts and over the time and all this stuff, where the investor can walk into this house, see it for all the destruction that it has, and say, I can invest the 50 grand, and rather than giving you 10 or 15 or 20, I can give you maybe 30. See what I'm saying? Because my value is not based on the existing value of the property today. So let me tell you where this factor kind of comes in. And this is kind of a rule of thumb. This is, the market is something that's not, there's no mathematical calculation to the market. But my rule of thumb in repairs, if you're selling a house as is any updates that will bring it to the optimal amount of value is doubled in a discount if you don't do them. So this house that needs $50,000 in repair and is worth 80, it's almost worth nothing because the repairs are so drastic compared to its true value. The buyer will oversee the damage comparably to an investor. I can see through damage and mathematically calculate it like looking at the matrix and make it make sense in my head where I can still make money on the property, where a buyer that's going to come live in it cannot see through it. They just see, there's no way we can ever fix this house, you know what I mean? And that's unfortunate, but that's the way that the market reacts, right? Like the market is so much more picky whether or not you have two different color light switches, right? You might have the beige light switch with the white outside, or just double beige, right? Where the beige is out of style now. Or you have a tile that was cool 8 years ago, and you invested all that money in ceramic tile to replace the flooring in your house, and now it's outdated, and the buyer looks in there and says, hey, I got to replace this tile. I think it's going to cost me 10 grand to do it, because they're going to go to Lowe's and hire Lowe's to do it. Me, I've got crews. My cost of repairs are so much less comparably to the open market. I have leverage on contractors because I have consistent work. Hence why we can pay a little bit more depending on the amount of repairs. So if your house is totally destroyed, generally that's a big part of our market is sellers that need to sell, but the market won't pay them what the potential value of the house is compared to an investor. Okay, how long can you wait? That's the other thing is time. Obviously with us, you can close in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, somewhere in there depending upon title issues. But on the open market, if you have a house that's like that, you might be sitting on that house for a year, 2 years, okay? Next, do you have the money to repair the property? Obviously, that's your best case scenario. Better than selling it to an investor, better than putting it on the open market as is to put the investment in it now to get the optimal amount of price, right? It's kind of like, let me give you an example. It's kind of like you going to buy a used car and you go to the car dealership, right? And you go and you start the car because you're going to go on a test drive and it doesn't start, right? if the salesman says, oh, it's just a battery, don't worry. You're not gonna buy that car until that car starts, right? And it sounds good, right? Or you go and you start that car and it's like, and it just makes this ugly sound. You're not gonna trust it. And he's like, oh no, all it is just needs an air filter, right? Or all it needs is, you know, it needs a catalytic converter, which is like $300. So we'll discount it $300 and then you can own that car. They're not going to trust you that that's the number, okay? This is why if you're selling your house on the open market, you replace the carpet and flooring rather than, you know, the old way that they used to do it is like, oh, the buyer can pick whatever color that they want. They can't see through it, okay? They want to come in and see it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, in closing, you can sell an ugly house on the market, you know what I mean? Because ugly is kind of an opinion, but you cannot sell a house that's just wrecked. You can sell it, but you're not going to get the optimum amount of money for it. So if you're interested in selling and you want to see what we will offer you, it's a free consultation. We go there, you know, you just be nice to me, and I'll sit down with you. I'll walk the house real quick, and I'll give you a cash offer on the spot. So if you're interested in that, call the number below or visit us on our website, and the link's in the description. Or if you know somebody that has an ugly house or a destroyed house that they maybe inherited or that they weren't able to upkeep because of job or income, call us today and share the information with them. And we'll be happy to go look at it. And if you do refer somebody to us, we will give you a $500 referral if we end up buying the property. Thank you guys so much. God bless and Godspeed.